Put this on backwards. All right. I'm going to get started here at the 5-minute mark. Oh, hello. Konodilda. Hi, Umbreon Ranger. How are you? Let me get this set up and ooh, thank you for whoever else just tuned in. Can there be a Dragon Edge to part 5? I don't know how that would work. But let me see. Thank you to whoever else just tuned in. I'm going to be starting here in about 5 minutes at the 5-minute mark. I'm just sending out a few messages to let people know that I am live for all the people who tune in usually and watch my show. And I need to find my one other chat. The picture changes for this chat like every other day. I swear. Ooh, thank you whoever just tuned in. Like I said, I'm going to be starting in at the 5-minute mark just to give people a chance to tune in. And I'm sending out my messages to my group chats to let them know, hey, I'm live. Anna, hi. Let me just copy. Let me go to Google really quick. Let me go up here. All right, there we go. Would it really work though? Would it about Notorious B.I.G. being a dragon? Well, I mean, he is like a big stand. But he is B.I.G., which is big, so he is big. So yeah, I'm gonna be, but JoJo. But yeah, for those of you who don't know going on, who I came and talk tonight. For those of you who don't know what's going on, JoJo Part 5 just got announced yesterday, and some people are really excited about it. So yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna start here in exactly 1 minute. So yeah, we're talking about dragons, and I'll explain more about this in a minute. In a minute. Oh, my hair's long. I like it. All right, we're going to be starting here in 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cryptocast, your source for all things crypto-related, paranormal, and unknown. I'm your host, Parker, and tonight we are going to be discussing dragons. So, how I'm going to break this down is we're going to talk about the mythology of dragons, dragons throughout history, the Asian dragons, the European dragons, the myths about dragons, dragons in TV shows, dragons in movies, and how they kind of affected culture as we know it. So, like I said, the lines are open right now, so I will be accepting calls throughout the night. Last week we had a couple inappropriate callers saying a few racist things, so I apologize for that. So um, just call in really if you want to talk about cryptids and stuff. So, like I said, right now the phone lines are open, so call in if you would like to talk about these. But while I am waiting on calls, I'm going to just start talking about these. So, the dragons, they appear like in almost every mythology throughout the world. Mexicans, Aztecs really, but I mean, yeah, Aztecs, they had their dragon god Quetzalcoatl, who was a giant dragon who was a serpent who was pretty much like their god of death. Um, the Asians had the Asian dragons with their fur on their faces and their hair, their long, slender bodies, and their long whiskers. So, like, if you ever seen Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball GT, just Dragon Ball in general, that is what Shenron is based off of. Shenron is a giant Asian dragon. There are European dragons, which are the ones that are commonly seen in um, that we commonly know about, the stereotypical dragon with just the wings, the big body, the fire breathing ones, which is really cool. And dragons have honestly affected pop culture a lot too, with the movies like How to Train Your Dragon, which the fourth movie is coming out very soon and it looks good. I'm probably going to go see it. Or no, it's the third movie. I meant third, but the movie looks good. I'm probably going to go see it. And there is don't ask me how I know this, but there's a little dragon in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. He's just a little purple dude, but I mean, that's not really how dragons are normally portrayed. But really, the cool thing about dragons is, in my opinion, is that How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, March 2019. I thought it was sometime this year. That's my bad. But um, the cool thing about a dragon is you can draw a dragon any way you want, and as long as you kind of give it like a few like characteristics that are similar to most dragons, it's considered a dragon. So I think that's cool. Another thing is there's dragons in Greek mythology. There's the Hydra, which is probably one of the more famous ones. It's a multi-headed dragon from Greek mythology, and that's really cool. So we're just going to be discussing like so many different dragons tonight, so many different varieties. If you guys know any dragons or anything from mythology or anything that I'm missing, please let me know in the top chat. Yeah, the top chat right over here. But yeah, there are, and then they've been affected pop culture in ways too, like trading card games, Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon. Charizard isn't a dragon except for his new X Mega Evolution, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But there's dragon type Pokemon. There are so many ways that dragons are portrayed in media. Greatest Hydra weakness, tying the dude's head in a knot. Yes, I like that. Well, the way that Heracles killed the Hydra, each time he cut off one of the Hydra's heads, it grew back. So he got his sword heated up and cut the heads off so that way it sealed the wound so new heads wouldn't sprout up. And then he left one head on there and buried it underneath a rock, and that rock is still there to this day, and legend has it that you can still hear the Hydra hissing underneath that rock, which I think is really cool but really creepy. Add that to my bucket list, Google. And I'm sorry if you hear that. My dogs are barking again like they usually do. But we're also going to be talking about wyverns tonight because wyverns are a type of dragon. There's just so many cool things with dragons. Hi, Digital Drug Lord. How are you? Thanks for tuning into the show. So yes, phone lines are open. You can call in, talk about dragons, talk with me about cryptids in general. I would love to hear from you guys. You can always message in the top chat too. I'll be interacting with the top chat all night while I'm doing this stream. So be sure if I'm missing any dragons or there's a specific one or something that you would like for me to talk about, please let me know in the top chat over here. So there are so many different ways that dragons are portrayed. Some of them look, they don't even look like dragons. Like some of them look almost kind of like, some of them look feline like there's a German one called the Tatzelworm. It is sort of like has like the body of a snake and like the upper half. Yes, some of them do look like anime girls, Des. Oh, I love the dragon. I haven't seen the Dragon Maid anime yet, but I do want to. But some of them, but like the Tatzelworm in Germany, it's portrayed, it has like a snake-like body and has like the front half of a cat. And it's actually just really cool. And I think it's cool. And Sarkani ravioli, don't lewd the dragon lolly. That is words to live by right there. So, Anna, I'm going to look up the one that you just suggested to me. I think that's a dragon. Sarkani, because I don't know that dragon's name. Dragon. There's even, tis very badass. Is a legendary mythical creature in Hungarian folklore and mythology which mostly appears in the form of a scaly winged reptilian beast, but in some cases it could be a mixture of other beings. That is really cool. Look at this little thing. Well, it's not little, but look at that. That is actually really cool. In American folklore, there is actually an American dragon. Not American Dragon Jake Long, but I probably will be touching on that later in this thing just because it's an influential dragon show. So that'll be probably talked about here. And I don't know why I'm doing this, but I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. But in American folklore, there is a dragon-like creature known as the Snallygaster. And not to be confused with the Snallygaster, which is right here, but not really Native American. I meant to say more like United States era, kind of like in the first found states and everything. So this one's pretty much found in Washington, D.C. and Maryland, actually. It is called the Snallygaster. And the Snallygaster is a really weird, fucked up looking dragon. It has like the head of a chicken. It has one eye in the center of its head. It has a metal beak and metal talons. It has squid tentacles coming out of its mouth. Anna, you don't have to move. People really don't have to worry about them anymore. But if you do move, come down to Missouri. So pretty much looking at this thing, you've probably seen way too much hentai. I know where this is going, but it has tentacles in its mouth, has a metal beak, has a dragon's body, a chicken head with a single eye in the center of it. And this thing like was known to like pick people off and devour them. And no, Des, I'm not judging you for that, but it and like one of the only things that it was afraid of for some reason was 7-pointed stars, which is why sorry about that, which is why you see 7-pointed stars on the back, not on the back, just like on the front of barns, because that was one of the ways to just keep the snallygaster away from you. It had like a really big fear of 7-pointed stars for some reason. So, and actually, what makes this story even better was that Theodore Roosevelt actually hunted this, and like he went out of his way to hunt this down, which I actually think is hilarious because Teddy Roosevelt is a good guy. The heptagram was used in Christianity to symbolize the 7 days of creation and became a traditional symbol for warding off evil. So I guess that means the snallygaster itself is evil. So that would make a lot of sense then. And digital drug lord, earlier you said you mean like Native American, which kind of reminded me there is a Native American dragon I would like to talk about. So I posted this one earlier on my Tumblr account earlier this week. If you guys didn't see it, it is known as the Piasa bird. The Piasa bird, Piasa in Native American language means like devourer of men or something really close to along those lines. The Piasa bird, it had the claws and wings of an eagle. It had a dragon body and a super long tail. It had, well, actually, it had the body of a bear, the claws and wings of an eagle, a dragon-like super long tail. It had the face of either like a man or an ogre, and it had two kind of small deer antlers on it. And this thing lived up on the cliffs. It swooped down, picked people off, and devoured them. And the cool thing about the Piasa bird, I live kind of close to Illinois, so I do want to go there one day. There is a restored Native American painting that is on the side of a cliff. You have to take a boat to get to it, and the boat slowly floats by, and you can get a good view of this painting. It's a giant painting of the Piasa bird in Alton, Illinois. I really want to go see this because it looks like super fucking cool. Like, it's on my bucket list. Right now for cryptid related things, my bucket list is going to the Cryptid Museum in Maine, visiting the Mothman statue in Point Pleasant, and actually going to go see the Piasa bird painting. So that is something that I really want to do. And another one that I really want to do is go see Bigfoot's, where the Patterson Gimlin footage was filmed for Bigfoot. So those are 4 major things on my bucket list. Oh, you live in West Virginia, digital drug lord? Have you seen the Mothman statue there? Because if you have, that is awesome. I've seen pictures and stuff. The Mothman statue, they gave him like a really profound butt, which is really great. And yes, Des, it got the booty. Is it really cool up close? Is it actually made of metal? It's so cool. If you ever have the chance to see it, you need to. I need to. I want to come down to West Virginia one day just to see that, and it's on my cryptid bucket list. So yeah, I will definitely come see that. I know one of my friends during the stream has a really good theory about dragons, and I'm hoping that they will call to explain their theory. I'm not going to explain it myself. I'm going to have them do it because they did a really good job of explaining it. So when they call in, I'm going to have them explain it because their theory is really good about how people may have imagined dragons. Let me see. there was a dragon that was killed by one of the saints. I forgot what the dragon was. I forgot who the saint is, but there's a famous dragon that was killed by one of the saints. Um, Fafnir is an interesting dragon from Old Norse. Ugh, I said Norse. I can't talk tonight. Fafnir. And that also kind of brings in mind too, Jormungandr, the world serpent in Norse mythology. It's this huge dragon snake-like creature that circles the earth. Sometimes it has to eat its. Yes, it was Saint George. It was Saint George. Do you know any of the dragons of Inca culture or folklore? I will have to look those up, but I do know maybe a few. But Des, you are right. It is Saint George. So Fafnir, he's an old Icelandic dragon. He's the son of a dwarf king. I don't know how a dwarf will give birth to a dragon, but hey, it's Norse, so I'm not going to question it. Oh, he became the dragon after a curse. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he's kind of cool. So, Digital Drug Lord, I'm going to look up the Inca dragons for you. It's not Norse. It's Norse, so I'm not going to question it. Oh. Oh, lots of Ritalin and booze. Anything is possible. I mean, I'm not shaming if you do drugs, but I just don't promote it on this program. So you said Inca dragons. Okay, because I don't know a bunch of Inca dragons, so I remember he killed his brother over the gold and became a dragon, the symbol of greed. He sort of like sounds like Smaug then, because Smaug in Lord of the Rings guarded all that treasure and he would not share it. So there's this Inca dragon. It has like the head of a llama or something. I don't even know what this is. It's called Amaru. Let me see how to spell it. Amaru. It's a mythical serpent associated with the Tawanko and Inca tribes. The Inca mythology, the Amaru is a huge double-headed serpent that dwells underground, illustrated with heads of birds and pumas. That looked more like a llama to me, but it did look like an alpaca. Chinese dragon. There's also Cusco. Yeah, that dragon's officially Cusco. It's a fucked up Yzma experiment. We'll just go with that. But there is a creature in India. It's sort of worshipped as a god down there. It is known as the Naga, poison for Cusco. But there is a dragon in what is it, in Indian mythology. I keep reading the chat. I keep getting distracted. But there's a dragon in Indian mythology. It's known as a Naga. It's more of a snake-like creature. They're worshipped down there as gods. They can summon the rains, breathe fire. They're somewhat divine in nature. So I think that's kind of cool how we all have our. So yeah, I'm gonna see who else I have on this list. And Naga are also Indonesian. I love dragons, but oh yeah, Yamata or Orochi. That's right. Orochi is sort of in my mind at least, it is sort of a Japanese Hydra. It's like a snake-like creature. It has a bunch of heads. It's actually sort of what Orochi Maru is. So Nureona is an indigenous Japanese dragon, I think. I think maybe you're right. And Nureona. Nureona, it's a snake-headed woman. But hey, we'll counter. Eight-headed, eight-tailed dragon slain by the god of wind and sea. But yeah, that's the Nureona that Anna in the live chat suggested. I, I mean, she looks more like a snake-headed woman, or no, a woman-headed snake, not a snake-headed woman. There is a snake-headed dog in California mythology, but that's for another day. Ona means woman or something similar to it. A fine woman indeed. Oh, yeah, that's good. But yeah, I'm just waiting for my friend to call in to um, also explain their theory on the dragons. Let me actually just see if they're available right now. Oh, you gotta go? All right. Thank you, Digital Drug Lord. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do these every Friday, so I hope to see you again. Um, Next week, I'm doing the second most voted thing that I had on my Twitter poll last week, and that is going to be sleep paralysis and ghosts. So, really, if you guys would like to see sleep paralysis legends and ghosts and like what happens during sleep paralysis, um, be sure to tune in next week for that. So, get ready for that. And bye, Digital Drug Lord. Thank you so much again for being a new sub and tuning in. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. All right, so let me see. All right. So the Leviathan. Oh, fuck, I forgot about the Leviathan. The Leviathan is actually one of the dragons mentioned in the Bible. The cool thing about the Leviathan is it's a gigantic water snake. Like it's huge, and and nothing can harm it. It can only literally be slain by God. And it says in the Bible too that His chosen people, once they make it to heaven, they will feast on the flesh of the Leviathan, which is really cool. And it's in the book of Job. Okay, I will gladly take a look at that. All right, and my friends in the chat, they don't feel like calling in tonight. Which I completely understand. So I am going. So they told me I have permission to say their theory for you guys. So, if you're in the comments, just let me know if I'm explaining this right. So they said, told me a while ago. They said they had a theory on dragons, and they said dragons could be um, like what humans were scared of back in the day. They were scared of things that flew, like kind of like our primal instincts are scared of like big owls and like big birds and stuff like that. Not Big Bird from Sesame Street, though he is pretty damn creepy. But anyway, but people were scared of big flying things because I guess like back in the day, like ancestors, when birds were huge, got picked off and eaten by birds. So that kind of like fears instilled in us a bit. And same, and which is why we're scared of the big things that fly. And then people were scared of like huge reptiles like crocodiles, snakes. So they added that element to it as well, made kind of like combined birds and snakes and made and or reptiles of some sort and made like this hybrid like flying reptile, which is primates' main predators were birds of large or prey birds, large cats, and large reptilians, right? Which is why some of the dragons, like in Asian mythology, they don't have too many big reptiles down in Asia to be afraid of. So, but they have these big cats, so they combined these reptiles and birds and added cat-like features to it, which is why the Asian dragons are seen with like whiskers and beards and kind of cat-like faces because those were like their main predators down there because they were so scared of them back in the day. They sort of combined all these different traits and made them like into one big creature, which is which is what we know now as a dragon. So we think that all these elements of all these creatures that humans naturally feared at some point in their lives they can bind them together and made a huge monstrous creature. And right, just as Umbreon Ranger says, just as a way to explain why nearly every culture has some sort of dragon in each mythology. It's what we were scared of back when humans were first around and everything. And all these things just combined into one being is like, to them, was like scarier than anything that they can imagine. So they made up all these stories about these dragons. Now, some of them could have been real, some of them could have been false, but they made up all these stories about dragons, and we got what we have today. There was another dragon I would like to touch on really quick as well. It's called the Paluda. It has like the head of a snake and little stumpy legs. So like they got a big head and little arms. I almost fell backwards there. Nobody saw that. But it has like a porcupine like body with quills sticking out of it, and apparently it was denied access onto Noah's Ark. So during the flooding, it fled into a cave and hid out and survived the flooding. And apparently it still lives in France to this day, and it is known to its breath can poison crops and kill them. It can shoot its quills off and hurt people, and it just has like all these like really weird, strong supernatural powers. And it's just pretty much like a snake porcupine had a baby, and it's actually just really cool. It seems small, but it's actually I heard it's actually kind of huge. So it's just kind of cool knowing that like something was like so powerful, so feared that it was denied access onto Noah's Ark. Now I don't know if that's in the Bible. Anna, you can let me know if the Peluda is in the Bible. It's Peluda. It's not? Okay. It could be maybe be in like another version or something. I'm not sure. And yes, I did touch on Quetzalcoatl a little bit. I didn't touch on him much though. So, but yes, Puer Insanus. Yes, Aztecs did have Quetzalcoatl. He is sort of like a giant winged serpent. He is like the god of, like one of the gods of death in Aztec culture and Aztec mythology. So he is actually, he was feared. People made sacrifices to him, and he was just a huge all-around big grumpy guy. So pretty much like every Aztec god ever. But and I just love though too how like dragons have affected culture as well. We have little kid shows, like we had Dragon Tales at one point, which was one of my favorite shows. But they talk about three being behemoth, leviathans, and dragons. Okay, I did not know if the behemoth was a dragon, so I did not mention him in this episode yet. But if he is a dragon, then yes, I will talk about him. And Spyro the Dragon, yeah, I love Spyro. His new remake game is coming out pretty soon. I know a lot of people are hyped for that. Let me know in the comment section below or the live chat if you're hyped for the new Spyro game coming out. But yes, I'm not really well versed on the behemoth. I will look him up really quick. I know the Leviathan more than anything, and also a fun note about Leviathan. If you guys ever played the game Wizard 101, there is a spell pet, and yeah, it's called the Leviathan. It's just literally a huge water serpent, and it's really cool. And speaking of Wizard 101 with dragons, there is also a whole world called Dragonspire that's in ruins, and all these dragons are flying by. There's a scene where you actually get to fly on a dragon. There is a spell that is called Fire Dragon, and it is just really cool. Just breathes fire on all the enemies. There's like this patch of fire on the ground when you summon it, it lands there, and it just breathes fire, and it's huge. And I'm getting the band Behemoth, which is kind of funny. It says that Behemoth can stand for a big. So Behemoth, I'm getting for the band Behemoth. And they have a lot of songs. So if you're into Behemoth, I've never listened to them personally, but they do. But their song titles sound satanic. So I don't know if you are into that stuff. Then I mean, by all means, check it out. But if not, if that stuff kind of scares you, just I guess just stay away from that stuff then. But I mean, I'm but so it says the behemoth is a beast mentioned in Job. It's like a mix of an elephant, hippo, rhino, buffalo, and its name means extremely large or powerful entity. So you can see there what's above, that is God and his angels. Below in the big circle, the weird looking thing that's standing on land, that is the behemoth. And the thing below it is the Leviathan, which is also mentioned in the Bible, which is really cool. We also have, what else do we have? In pop culture, like I said, we have How to Train Your Dragon. All these different dragons are introduced. We have Skyrim, where you are the Dragonborn. You can absorb the souls. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All the souls of these dragons, and all this cool stuff. Let me know if you play Skyrim, because I've been watching playthroughs of that. My one friend plays it, and I've been watching them play it. So let me know if you play it, because I think that's a cool game. I need to get that for my 360. Also, debate about them being wyverns. In Skyrim, the dragons are wyverns. And Kid crashed. Okay, which is all right with me. But I need to look up the one that you mentioned, Anna. Oh, it's a sea serpent apparently in the Bible. It says it's either like a large snake, a dragon, or it's sort of like a wolf combined with a dragon. I think that's kind of cool, actually. But yeah, there are so many like different cool things in the Bible and everything about like dragons and everything. So if you like dragons, read the Bible. There's a fair amount of them in there. Unicorns are also mentioned as well, though there is debate about that they could have been rhinoceroses. They have their wings attached to their arms, whereas dragons have them separate. Thank you, Puerincenus. You are right. The dragons, wyverns have wings on their arms. They usually have yeah, like you're right. They have like wings attached to their arms and two regular legs. And normal dragons, they have wings sprouting out of their side, or out of their back, which is true. So yes, that is a good debate question as to whether they could be actually wyverns. Wyvernborn doesn't sound as badass as Dragonborn. You're right. Maybe, I don't know. The designs of the dragons are cool regardless. Maybe they could actually change it at some point so it can actually be a, like an actual dragon instead of a wyvern. But regardless, wyverns are really cool. So yeah. But I meant to touch on, this one is hard to pronounce. I don't know exactly. I forgot how to pronounce this one. It's like Lou Carchel, Lou Carl. It is it's hard it's hard to pronounce. It's a dragon. It's from French mythology. Let me just look this up really quick. I just need to make sure I am pronouncing this right. I want to show you guys this thing. Um, yeah, it's Lou Carkle. Lou Carkle. Okay. I'm sorry about that, but it is a French dragon that is essentially a snail. It's a dragon with a snail shell. And if you guys play Pokemon, X and Y, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, it's in these games. Lou Carkle is represented as the Pokemon Gumi, Sliggoo, and Goodra, which is how that they got their names. Oh, that's right, the Tarisk. I meant to mention that. That's the one that I think St. George killed. But this is Luke Harkle. He is a snail dragon, and I think he's really cool. And he terrorized the French side back in the day until eventually he was slain. Now let me look up the Tarisk that you mentioned as um, while I am looking this up, I want to mention too, if you guys play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, there is a whole section dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a whole section dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a whole section dedicated to dragons. They have dragon monsters, dragon cards. The most famous of them, well, the most two famous ones are Blue Eyes White Dragon and Red Eyes Black Dragon, which are really popular monsters that people play. There are so many different dragon cards in there. Des, I know you like vampires. There's actually a card called Vampire Dragon, which is a Cyclops dragon looking thing with vampire teeth. So look that up when you get the chance. I think you'll like Vampire Dragon. So there are just so many different dragons. And now let me talk about the Karis, the Tarisk you suggested. So yeah, it's sort of like it has a shell with spikes on it, sort of like a lion turtle thing. And I know it was killed. Um, it was tamed by Saint Martha, and then the townspeople. First, it attacked people, and then it was killed by Saint Martha. And it was tamed by Saint Martha. People were scared of it, and they killed it. And then they realized that Saint Martha had tamed it, so they have a festival every year for it. And um, it's really cool. They have like the Chinese dragon festivals. There's the Tarisk right there. But yes, Saint Martha has tamed that. Um, Saint George dragon. Let me take a look. I think the dragon in this represented the devil, if I am not wrong. Um, yes, a Norwegian Ridgeback is mentioned in Harry Potter. Yes, in the movies too. I forgot about Harry Potter. Thank you so much, Anna. Also, can you let me know too? Did the dragon in that Saint George slain that Saint George killed did that represent the devil? Because I am unsure about that. But in Harry Potter, there are so many different dragons in there. Harry had to fight a Norwegian Ridgeback in the Goblet of Fire to get the golden egg so he can unlock the clue, which will eventually lead him to the mermaids. And all these characters, they had to pull like little mini dragons out of this pouch. And whichever one they pulled out was the one they had to fight. Harry got unlucky. He pulled the most aggressive, vicious dragon, the Norwegian Ridgeback. And he had, and eventually this thing was so pissed off at Harry while he was getting the egg. He had his Quidditch broom. He was flying. The dragon's chain broke loose, and it was chasing after him. It destroyed half of the bleachers, and it just caused a big havoc. Hagrid himself, he actually had a little pet baby dragon that he had to send back because they found out about it. His name was Norbert. It was just this tiny, cute little baby dragon, but he had to send it back because I think the Ministry of Magic found out about it or something, and they had to send it back. And he let it go with, I think, Ron's brother, who actually takes care of dragons, which is actually really cool. But yes, Saint George, he did kill a dragon. You can look up that there's a picture, a famous picture of him slaying a dragon. I am not sure if the dragon represented the devil or not, but um, the dragon is referred to the dragon of the abyss. So I do feel like Saint George's dragon um, may have represented the devil. I am very unsure, but I mean that's what a lot of people kind of associate that with because dragons were feared creatures, and people were very scared of the evil things back in the day, like the devil. So they usually portrayed him like as dragons or something. And I'm pretty sure in one of the books in the Bible, I think it's the Book of Revelation, the devil can actually turn into a giant red dragon, which is cool but scary. And Saint George offered to kill the dragon if hold on, there we go. And Saint George offered to kill the dragon if the town consented to become Christians and be baptized, which I'm guessing they did because he did kill the dragon. So that is really cool. But yeah, there are so many different legends about dragons out there. Maybe one day, you know what I should do for a live stream one day? I should maybe do you guys for you guys who are out there that actually like Pokemon, okay? Maybe I could do a Pokemon live stream. I can go over each Pokemon in the Pokédex and basically mention what cryptid they are based off of because a lot of them are based off of Japanese yokai. I don't know. I'll add it to the list. I think that would be a cool live stream to do at some point. Break down each Pokemon and Pokemon line and explain what they are based off of for the yokais and the cryptids. I don't know. Let me know if you guys would like that. Yeah. Oh, and also, I did receive a few comments as well at one point saying that maybe I should shorten my streams because some people feel like maybe like well not feel like but because they mentioned that an hour, some people mentioned to me that like maybe an hour long stream, like some people I don't know, but do you guys think maybe I should shorten my streams a bit, or do you like them as hour long podcast show? So please let me know about that as well. If you guys would like them a little shorter, I will do shorter, or I could just keep them the full hour, which is sort of normally what I intended to do. But I'm just asking this because I'm always open to suggestions. So please, please, please let me know. And Hannah Marie really wants them to stay the same. So if you guys want them still an hour long, I'll keep them an hour long. I'm only asking just because I mean someone suggested it to me and it wasn't a bad suggestion, so I'm just open to all suggestions. So I would like to, so that's really the only reason I really asked, because I just want everyone's opinion just to know what I want to do, because I want to make this channel good. No, we are not burning the haters. No, the person who mentioned it to me wasn't a hater. He's a really good guy. He asked me really good questions and stuff about cryptids. So I mean, no, they're a good guy. Don't worry about it. I just asked because I just want to make this channel good for like I'm just trying to give everybody what they want. So I mean, if you guys want it short, I'll shorten it. If you guys want it long, if you guys want it big, if you guys want the normal episode, I will make it the normal episode. If you guys want it short, I will shorten it a bit. I'm just putting that out there. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do a poll on Twitter since I already know what I'm doing next week. And yeah, Groudon and Kyogre, now that you mentioned, they were based on the Behemoth and the Leviathan. I don't know what Rayquaza was based off of. He's probably based off of just a normal Asian dragon. I'm unsure. But yeah, there are just so many different dragons in mythology. It's kind of hard to keep it up. If you guys want it big, Parker 2018. If you guys want it big, I'm keeping this just in case any of you guys want to screenshot this and meme it. Okay, that should be enough. um, that's what she said. Creepy story. One of my friends, he went on a, who went to one of my friends told me the story about one of his friends that went to at school. This one guy asked for a pencil, and this one guy gave it to him, and he said, and it was like a short pencil. And he said, "Do you have any bigger ones?" And then somebody said, "Huh, that's what she said." And the guy said, "No, that's what I said. Now come here," like in a really creepy voice. I would be terrified if somebody did that to me. So, um, that just reminded me of that. Sorry, I got off topic for a minute. I'm thinking maybe for a stream as well one day. Maybe I could do V will do that. Maybe one day I could do a Q&A live stream where you guys can either tweet me questions, ask me on Tumblr, or ask me or call in and ask me, or ask me in the top chat, just like different questions that you have for me, and I could answer them. I don't know. I think that will be fun. Maybe when I reach 100 subscribers, I will do a big Q&A, like just a whole live stream Q&A. I don't know. I think that would be fun. Let me know if you guys think that would be fun. But yes, for sure next week I am covering sleep paralysis and ghosts and what you will experience during sleep paralysis. I have never experienced sleep paralysis, and I do not want to experience sleep paralysis, but there are so many scary things associated with sleep paralysis. So I am very excited to cover this. And then the week after that, I will be doing haunted dolls like Annabelle, like Robert, like Joliet, like Peggy, Harold, all these different dolls. I will be covering those. And Anna, I know you know a lot of haunted dolls because you've been watching those movies this a whole week. Some of them good and some of them bad. And I will look up the Kana Shibari, not this episode because this is about dragons, but but next week I will look up about, but next week in next week's live stream I will look that up. And yeah, dolls are cool actually. I'm honestly have a fear of dolls, but um I mean it is what it is. I probably shouldn't be saying that because my mom has boxes of dolls from her childhood, like from the 60s over there. But anyway, um back to dragons. So I just think it's cool that so many different cultures have different dragons in their cultures. Um, they're so similar yet so different at the same time. Um, like we had the Asian dragons, the European dragons, Attack of the '60s dolls, legit. Um, I I can definitely see that being like an actual movie, Attack of the '60s dolls or Night of the '60s dolls. I don't even know what the '60s was like, so I don't know what that would be like. Victorian dolls. Ooh, those things are scary. Were they like the porcelain ones with like the porcelain heads and everything? Or are they the sawdust dolls? Those ones are extremely haunted, I know. Um, ooh, ooh. Okay, and don't even get me started on clown dolls. Those things are horrifying. I don't know, guys. Do you think maybe this fish tank in the background, this 14-gallon fish tank, would be enough to maybe keep a Leviathan or a Hydra or something? What do you guys think? Oh no, a glass clown doll. But yeah, I could probably keep a Leviathan in here. I don't know what I'd feed it. But yeah, I could keep a Leviathan in here. There's different interpretations of the Leviathan. Sometimes it's seen like as just like as big as a whale with extra flippers. I could feed it the souls of man. Yes, Des, I could. Um, Sometimes it's depicted as like giant sea serpent, like snake-like creature, and I don't know. The Leviathan is just really cool. I don't know if that would be considered more of a dragon. Just an inch bigger. Yeah, it might be. I mean, yeah, I could. If I can't fit a Leviathan in here, maybe I could probably fit maybe a Wyvern, at least two, maybe three. I don't know, but I can fit a Wyvern in here. Um, and there are so many fish that are named after dragons. There's like the dragon eel, the dragon fish, the dragon wrasse. There's just so many different fish named after dragons, and it's just really cool. There's like little blue sea slugs that are like blue dragons, which are really cool, but they're deadly because they eat Portuguese man-o'-wars, which have venom in them. So you pick one up, that venom seeps into your hand, which is scary. Um, that would be a trip to the hospital. And yeah, there's just so many dragons all around the world. I don't know what I'm gonna land on. I think I landed on Africa. Okay. I think there are some African dragons. I just don't know those off the top of my head. And yes, they are danger worms. Actually, if you want to know a really cool danger worm, this one allegedly lives in a lake in Kansas City. This one right here. If you guys can see that, I will actually take you guys closer to it so you can see it. That right there, the little gray picture of the worm, that is Sinkhole Sam. Apparently, he's a worm that lives in a lake in Kansas City. So that's always fun. But yeah, he is the danger worm. Or would it be danger worm with a WURM? Because that's what sometimes people call dragons. Or WYRM. Most African dragons are like large serpents or giant snakes, sometimes possessing only two legs, if any at all. That does sound about right. There is the bronze snow or bronze snow dragon, which I don't know if it's Africa or not. It's like a lake dwelling dragon that can summon the rains. There's also, oh no, what is the name of that? I did a post on this one. It's the damn it, what is it? It's the elephant snake hybrid. Oh god, what is the name of that thing? It's gonna bother me now. What is this? What is the elephant snake hybrid? Let me take a look. This is gonna really, really bother me. Unless any of you guys know the elephant snake hybrid. Groot, no, before I even looked it up, I remembered it. It's the Groot slang. It is the Groot slang. That is right. Yes, Des, it's the Groot slang. Oh my god. I am sorry, guys. I completely forgot that is the Groot slang. Oh god. It's just the elephant snake hybrid. The African gods feared it so much that they split them in half into an elephant and a snake. But some of them apparently got away, and now they live in caves and everything and eat people when they walk in. But oh my god, I hate myself for forgetting that one. I love the Groot slang too. It's just one of those days. It's been a long day, guys. My guinea pig is really sick, so I've been dealing with that. She has like a tooth abscess, and the surgery is $1,000, so that is not good at all. So we don't know if we can actually afford surgery for her. So it's just been a long day, guys. So I apologize for forgetting some of this stuff. But yes, it is the Groot slang, and I do love the Groot slang. So there's that. But yeah, there are so many different dragons. Some of them are more bird-like, some of them are more reptile-like, some of them are more feline-like, but they're all kind of share like similar traits. Like some are able to breathe fire, some of them they all have like scales and everything. Most of them have wings, they all fly. So there's just so many different traits about dragons, which is really cool that all these different cultures share dragons, and it's kind of cool. I mean, it kind of unites culture that way, in my opinion. Like, so different yet so similar. Everybody can just kind of come together and share their views. Like, it can be like, it's so different yet the same. So I think it's a cool way that people can come together and share their views and what they believe in. It's, yeah. And it feels like I'm actually forgetting a dragon that I wanted to talk about today. Fuck. And then there's like different dragons and mythologies and everything. And there's this one series I like called Del Toro Quest. They have like these half dragon, half vulture creatures called Akbaba that fly around and circle the castle, which is really cool. In some books, there's light dragons, there's water dragons, there's dark dragons, there's fire dragons, earth dragons, forest dragons, which, in my opinion, those ones are kind of more mythological, but they're still really cool to think about. It feels like I'm forgetting. Guys, I am sorry. I normally do not forget this stuff that much. Oh God. But and I'm not really sure if I would count sea serpents as dragons. I mean, some of them, yes, but some of them, no. It's just sort of, I don't know. Some could be considered dragons, some sea serpents couldn't be. But it just depends. Okay, that was a piece of wood. I thought it was a tooth on the ground because we had mice down here, and I thought I stepped on a tooth. But yeah, then there's just so many different dragons in history, and I am rambling on at this point. I'm sorry. I admit this isn't one of my best streams, so I'm sorry. But no, it was a piece of wood. It wasn't a tooth. One of my friends in one of my kick chats said, "Hey, if you find a mouse skeleton, use your necromancy to bring it back to life and have a skeleton mouse familiar." Ooh, I almost fell there. These chairs that I'm sitting on are not sturdy at all. But no, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I admit this isn't one of my better. This isn't one of my better live streams that I've done. So I'm sorry about that. But I mean, I like dragons. I'm just not really well versed about them. But a lot of people wanted me to do dragons tonight, so I decided to do dragons. So I did the best I could. You have a squirrel skull. Ooh. I don't think I have any bones. One of my friends made me hold a raccoon penis bone, so I've officially held raccoon dick. That sounds really weird out of context, but yeah. And also, I want to bring this up too. There is, I have a collection of lamb bones. Oh no, those are one of my favorite animals. Oh no. Oh no, lambs and owls. Oh no. And I just kind of want to mention this too, just kind of as a funny thing. What online there was a weird thing. It was from like I watched this one guy. He does deep web exploration videos, and it's on the clear web too. There's this one website called the Dragon Sex Calendar, which is really weird. But I mean, since we're mentioning dragons, I mean, if you guys want to check that out, like if you're underage, parents' permission first, obviously. But I don't know, but parents' permission first. And there is this website that I love. Where is it? I know I had it pulled up. The Circle of the Dragon. www.blackdrago cryptid.com. Yes. It's not really focusing it, but the URL is www.blackdrago.com, and it's this really cool archive. It has like all these dragons from all these different cultures in it, and you can just research dragons. So if you really like dragons, I w I I W yeah I W. No, I definitely suggest checking out www.blackdrago.com. Not sponsored, by the way, but I really suggest you check those out because those are really cool, and it's one of the sites that I really like to look at sometimes when I'm bored. So, all right, with that being said, it has been an hour and 5 minutes. Next week, guys, like I said, sleep paralysis and ghost video. You asked for it, you've waited for it, and it's happening next week. So get excited for that. I will do that one poll on my Twitter. So be sure to follow my Twitter for notifications and everything. I also post stream updates, and I also post them on my Twitter I post on my Twitter. I just said that. I post them on my Tumblr as well. There's two T things that I use, Tumblr and Twitter. So yeah, I post stream updates on both of those. Check out my Discord server. Email me if you like. My wall in the back is looking pretty bare. You guys can email me fan art if you want at www. Wait, no, not www. No, at cryptidpodcast@gmail.com. You can email me fan art there. You guys can email me just suggestions, topics, or anything. Let me know what future streams you want me to do in the comment section below. My Twitter DMs, my Tumblr DMs are all open. So be sure to check out all my social media in the link in the description below. I also have a Discord, which is there too. So if you're new, you want to check out my Discord, be sure to join that. I got some good people in there. Pretty much everybody who's watching right now is in my Discord. So please be sure, if you are a new person, check that out because it's a really fun place where we discuss cryptids and all this stuff. I do want to do a live chat on there again at some point. I haven't done one in a while. So please be sure to check out all my social media. If you liked this video, please be sure and be sure to hit the bell notifications because, like I said, I still have no idea what I'm really going to do with this channel. Like, I could change my stream updates at some point. I could change, like, I'm planning on sometimes just loading up like little fun videos, like maybe vlogs, like maybe just like showing off my cryptid paraphernalia collection because I have a bunch of like cryptid merchandise. I could do a video on that at some point, just showing that off. I have a book that I have that it's just pretty much wiki notes